Saquon Barkley has arrived in New York. Because he has arrived in New York, everybody's raving about Saquon Barkley and what the Giants are expected to do. You listen to folks, they're talking like as if the Giants going to win this division. I see the Giants in third place, even with Eli, even with OBJ, even with Sterling Shepard, and, of course, Saquon Barkley. I don't see the Giants being better than Dallas. I don't see the Giants being better than the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. What about you?
I agree with you with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that team is better than the New York Giants. I think they're better than the New York Giants mainly at the quarterback position. We look at Carson Wentz and what he was able to do under Doug Peterson's tutelage.
Okay.
You have to have that team first. The way that defense finished the season and the way they played, rushing the passer, tying in with the secondary in the back end. Okay. I believe they can be better than Dallas. When you look at the New York Giants, when you look at the weapons that they have offensively, you're right. And it's different than last year. Remember when coming into last year, everybody's like, oh, they got Brandon Marshall and they have – they drafted Evan Ingram, and you have all these different players. Ingram's had a year to grow. Odell Beckham Jr. is back and healthy. But you think about the Will Hernandez pick. You think about Nate Solder on the outside now. Now you're trying to plug some of those pieces.
Eric Flowers still at right tackle. Come on now. Let's go. Come on now.
We got him off of the left.
Okay, we got him off the left, but he's on the right. He's still on the line. He's still on the line.
We're one step better. I think he's in a more natural NFL position for him. And so when you look at some of those things, combined with the fact that you do have Saquon Barkley now, and there is that home run threat in the backfield. You look at his first run, those are some of the difficult things that he can do that you didn't see the New York Giants being able to do. A backside block is missed. He makes the jump cut, sets up the cornerback outside, Denzel Ward, and hits it up for 39 yards. When you can do those things and have that type of big strike capability in three places, right? You have it outside with Odell Beckham Jr., you have it inside with Evan Ingram, and now you have it in the backfield with Saquon Barkley. Schematically, that presents a problem. I believe going into the season, I would put the New York Giants ahead of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow, Ryan Clark right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Top three teams in the NFC are who? I've got Philadelphia.
Okay.
I've got New Orleans. And I got the Los Angeles Rams. You disagree with any of that?
I do not disagree.
You do
I do not disagree. I put New Orleans after the Rams, though.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I only have Philadelphia ahead of the Rams out of Super Bowl respect. I believe Jared Goff takes another step with Sean McVay. Now you have Brandon Cooks, who you've added as a deep ball threat on the outside, which they really didn't have. Sammy Watkins was a good receiver. He battled some toe injuries. He came back from that. Not the same explosive player that he once was. Now you've added legit speed to the outside. Obviously, we've talked about Todd Gurley before. 19 touchdowns, a threat both receiving and rushing the football. Cooper Kupp, he's going to be better. But I think where this team has taken the next step is in the secondary. Defensive, the defensive back coach Aubrey is one of my good friends, and just his excitement about having Marcus Peters, having Aqib Talib in a room with a young coach who kind of understands the personalities, allows those guys to play, and you put that with LaMarcus Joyner. Now you have Ndamukong Suh up front. Michael Brockers was already a dog in the front end. You lose Alex Ogletree, but you have people there to replace him at linebacker, and also Wade Phillips as the coach. This team, to me, is put together better than any team on both sides of the ball in the NFC.
But Ryan Clark, Aaron Donald ain't signed yet.
Right, and that's big.
That's a big deal.
And that's a huge deal. I believe this defense is still really good without him. Better with him. Don't get me wrong. Better with him. But you can let Aaron, and I think Aaron Donald deserves to be the highest player at the position ever. He's that good. He's that good. Right. He is as dominant as he's maybe more dominant at his position than Aaron Rodgers is at his.
What about his?
I believe he's that good.
Is he more dominant than J.J. Watt was when J.J. Watt was healthy?
That's close. That's close. Aaron Donald, Rob Gronkowski, and J.J. Watt have been the best positional players I've seen in the last 10 years of football. And so I believe Aaron Donald is in that conversation for sure. And so when you look at that, I understand that's a hit, but that's why you go get Ndamukong Suh. And I believe that was a plan for the L.A. Rams in seeking out Suh, because when they were looking at him, we were like, okay, you have Aaron Donald, you have Michael Brockers. Why would you go out and bring in an attitude like that, a character like that, a personality like that? It's because he can play.
I've always
it's also because you don't know if you can get Aaron Donald signed. Obviously, we've seen on their priorities list he isn't as high as we would have expected.
And not only that, I think the thing that's alarming is about take care of your own. I remember Ice Cube was talking to me yesterday. He was like, take care of your own. You bring in Aqib Talib. He's had some situations in his past, but I'm a fan of Aqib Talib. And I think that he's a plus on any roster in any secondary.
Absolutely.
Marcus Peters, my concern about him is the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs seemed eager to let him go.
Right.
And I need you to speak to me about that, because the combination of both of them in the locker room with Ndamukong Suh, with a coach that's about 31, 32 years of age.
Aubrey Pleasance is young. Yeah.
I mean, my Lord,
is young.
I'm wondering about that, aren't you?
I have been wondering, and I've reached out to people out there. From what I hear, Marcus is attached to Aqib. He's always with him. Those guys are always working together, always talking ball, always trying to take the next step. But Marcus Peters is trying to take that next step to where Aqib Talib was, which is top 2, top 3 corner in the league for the last 5 years.
Right.
And I think Marcus wants to get there. That's also a personality that he can gel with. A guy who's, a guy who hasn't necessarily always done the correct things.
He's a bit buck wild.
He's a big wild.
But elite.
But elite. And I think he and Marcus, they vibe well together. Aubrey Pleasance, who's the defensive backs coach, has allowed them to be men. And I believe that their secondary has an opportunity to be one of the top secondaries, not only in coverage, but in turning the ball over. Aqib Talib is a guy who's had more pick sixes than most guys in the league. You look at Marcus Peters, a guy who comes into the league almost 20 interceptions or 20 turnovers in his first 3 years. And so when you can do those things, you become special. And I think that this defense in the secondary will be that.